Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
It's glad to have you join us today on another fresh new episode of Enterprise Morning on Enterprise TV. I am Henry Igwebike. In just a bit, we will be taking you to our world of newspaper headlines review for today, and right after that will be our big conversation. While we do all of that, please do well to visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. Also, do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Enterprise TV7. With me in the studios to review our newspapers is Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid. He is a lawyer and equally a public affairs analyst. You're welcome to Enterprise Morning today, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so very, very much. So let's kick off the newspaper headlines today with the first daily, and it's coming from the Vanguard newspaper. And the big story there says Tinubu rise against insecurity, vow renewed action. And on the top of the same newspaper, we have NNPC should have privatized the refinery before rehabilitation, and that's coming from Atiku. 83 illegal refineries uncovered in 1 week. I prepared myself for probe, and that's coming from the former President Buhari. On the downslip of the same newspaper, we have buildings destroyed as explosion rocks a part of Ibadan. And federal government building fiscal resilience to reduce foreign borrowing. That's coming from the finance minister. Barrister, let's take a look at what is coming from the opposition, and it's Mr. Atiku. He's saying NNPC should have privatized refineries before rehabilitation. Do you think that is good enough coming from Atiku, and does it really make sense?
Yeah, I think I agree with him. Bearing in mind that, look, if you look at our at the past, for years, there has been this turnaround maintenance, and we have not seen anything. And a lot of money has been sunk into it. We have been told people are collecting a salary running to billions every year, and nothing has been coming out of it. So in order not to continue to waste our money, I think it's better to give it to people who will be ready to make business from it. And if that's a private company or whatever, they will not allow you to waste in that regard. And they will not be wasting money in terms of turnaround maintenance, and then nothing will come out. Definitely something will come out. So I agree with him that, look, the government has showed that, they seem to lack the ability or capacity to run any investment or in Nigeria to have any profit from it. In other words, most of the things that is being run by government have been seen as a conduit pie, where money is being siphoned. That's what they do. You see, there's no company or whatever business that's under the government that has not been riddled with corruption or any other thing. And you will not see anything, and you'll be hearing trillions of dollars have been sunk into it, and you will see nothing from it. And you will now look at where, look, for example, say at Jakarta Steel. We have been told they are owing a 30-something bill or electricity bill or whatever, and nothing has come out from it. There's no steel that has been produced, there's nothing that has been done. Yet we are incurring a debt. So if selling them off or giving them to people who can, or making arrangements with people who can work on them and make it work and bring results for us, I think for me it's the right way to go. We're not using it for anything. It's just there for nothing. We have so many assets in Nigeria that are wasted. We have properties, we have so many things. If you recall, remember there is this defense house that has been abandoned for over 20 years. Abacha was the last person that used the place as his chief of defense staff. That place has been there for over 20. That place can contain all our, instead of a government agency having a renting houses in Lagos to say liaison office, they can even use that as a one hub for each floor will be for. And it's fantastic. They've been there for over 20 years. It's been abandoned. Just a few months ago, confirmed reports say that that building as it is, that they are collecting maintenance fees every year, and nothing is maintained. Nothing is there. Nothing is even there. It's like a is abandoned.
Well, how about this issue of, because it has become a tradition in Nigeria. I would remember before Dangote went on desiring to build his private refinery, he opted to buy some of these moribund refineries. But Nigerians, there was an outcry by Nigerians saying that he's trying to monopolize or trying to buy the whole of Nigeria, and he ended up building his own. Right now, Nigerians are crying it's better to have privatized it. So tell me, is it a situation of Nigerians not understanding what they really want?
I will not agree that when you say Nigerians, because I wasn't part of those people that you are talking about. You don't say Nigerians. Sometimes these things are instigated by people who want to benefit politically from it. You remember when the former President Jonathan said he wants to remove subsidy. It was some people said no, it cannot be removed. That it's against the citizen, and there are protests. Do you want to tell me that protest was Nigerian protest or sponsored by people? Was you see this what the politicians what they do? They want to take advantage of what is on ground. Use that particular thing to let people to against you. Tell you what is. I remember they said Atiku is how will Atiku sell our assets, this and that. And when the immediate past government came, they were thinking of the same in the same line. They were trying to do the same thing. So they are not sincere when they do that. But unfortunately, we have gullible Nigerians who will not even interrogate issues. They will just sell it to them and they'll buy and they'll continue to paddle it. Meanwhile, those are benefiting politically from it. They want to damage your character or your plan. And they will not sell it to people and say, no, this is not. And most of these people, they have this connection, particularly in the media and other area where they can spread this. So people now buy it and then start saying it's not good, it's this and that. And for me, it's not Nigeria generally. It's certain few people who want to use that for their benefit.
The elites.
Instigating certain people and then they selling those narration to people, and people are buying it in the name of politics.
All right, so let's look at this issue, and it's on the downslip of the same newspaper, the Vanguard. It says palliative funds, there's plot to link Gbajabiamila, a source. Now there is an unverified, post or letter from his office where it stated that that there was an approval from Tinubu for the Humanitarian Ministry of 3 billion naira. And I guess that is where this link of maybe trying to rope him into this source. Do you really think that Gbajabiamila has something to do with this saga from Betta Edu?
Until the investigation is concluded, we cannot ascertain that. But what they were saying is that, look, there was a letter circulating down the town that there's an approval of 3 billion to the Humanitarian Minister from the COVID-19 palliative to use for in his what are they doing? The social investment policy. That's what they're saying. So that more. I don't know whether the proper procedures were followed before that money was that approval was given. Whether there's no proper, but if there's a proper procedure have been followed, that should not be an issue. If there's no proper procedure followed, that's when the issue will be. But I don't think money meant for COVID-19 should be for. A palliative for COVID-19 should be for social investment. Well, they are all social investment issues. So if that's part of that there's letters circulating around the country. What we have not been able to ascertain is whether or not that approval followed due process. And if there's a due process, I don't see anything wrong in that. Once due process is done, so no matter if you approve it and then it's given to that person and the money is used for the purpose that we use for. Then there's no issue. But if there's any other information regarding the fact that, look, this money was released without unauthorized,
yes.
Then that's when as it is now is approved.
All right. So let's go to our next daily, and this is the Punch newspaper, and we have the big story there saying anti-kidnapping protest holds in Abuja today as 10 suspects arrested. And on the right, we have Tinubu vows a crackdown on kidnappers, agents of darkness, abduction, kill hotel barman. And on the downslip of the same newspaper, we have federal government saves 8 trillion naira from subsidy removal, FX reforms, the Tinubu'S panel, and also refinery Dangote investors that is gained 1.2 trillion naira from the investment, and naira plunges to 1,300 naira per dollar at the parallel market. Barrister Tunji, isn't that worrisome?
I think there are a lot of worrisome news in Nigeria these days. In fact, we have so many of them. In fact, what you read, what the one you just read now, they are worrisome. This issue, for example, we have been told the government saved 8 trillion from subsidy. Are you seeing the 8 trillion? Are you seeing the impact of that 8 trillion being saved? And yet we are borrowing money to do so many things. So there are so many issues here. We are not doing the right thing, and we are expecting the right result. For me, there are so many worrisome reports in this court. The issue of kidnapping, people trying to protest in that regard, it's become and it's worrisome. And it appears government is not even doing much to solve the problem. What we hear is visual rhetoric every day. The same good speeches, statements, and all, and that's all. By the time you see, you call now, people are not talking about Plateau again.
No, they're not.
By the time there's another one next week, we forget this Buhari's kidnapping issue, and then we'll go to another area. So that's what we have in Nigeria. We have one week or 1 day, one issue. Then we'll go away with it.
But why do you think, because it's beginning to look like the president cares little or nothing about the depreciation of the naira? I can remember very vividly prior to the elections, he was asked and on what he intends to do with the dollar as against the naira. He said that since Nigerians aren't paid in dollar, they shouldn't worry themselves. And it's amazing to see that he has come into power. In less than 1 year, the dollar grew from 750 naira to 1,300 naira. What do you think is happening here? Is it that the president cares little or less about this issue, or he feels it doesn't demand his attention?
No, on the contrary, I won't say the government, the president feel little or less of that issue. In fact, for me, it's one of his most prioritized area.
But why is he not doing something?
The economy. You can't give what you don't have. You see, the president took the wrong step from the start. As far as I'm concerned, some people can argue that it's debatable. That issue of subsidies is gone without any proper planning. It was the basis of all this, and you can recall it was when that statement was made that all of this chaos,
came.
So. Yeah. That is the problem. So the president put himself in a situation whereby things will be difficult for him. The president is more concerned about economy, especially where money will come from. Whether that is care is about development of the people or about the money they will get. Yes, because you will see the president. What they have been doing most has to do with the issue of money.
But the money has to come from somewhere. When the economy is doing well, that is when it's even possible to have more money coming into the coffers of the family.
Yeah, I agree with you. But you see, we need to provide an environment in our country. We need to do it from here, not go abroad. And we are concerned about going to abroad to go and seek for foreign direct investment. With all this insecurity that we have in this country, we can't get them. So I think the government is more concerned about the naira fall and all these sorts because it's affecting them. Exactly. But unfortunately, they are getting the wrong. They are not getting the policies right. They are having some assorted policies and those things. So it is a lack of good policies or lack of adequate, well thought out policies, and the reason why they are having what they are having. So if they have done the right policies, probably they will have gotten it right. Exactly. And then, like I said earlier on, that issue of subsidies gone pronouncement is the basic of the foundation of all this program we're having today.
All right, so let's move to our next daily, and which is the last daily we have for today, and it's coming from the Guardian newspaper. And the big story there says federal government opts for conditional divestment as all major trade at a $4.5 billion asset. And still on the same newspaper, we have federal government orders on border closure still in force, says customs. Inflation, currency depreciation undermining Nigeria's economic outlook. State police restructuring security agencies, panacea to kidnapping and orders political class. Security chiefs promise action on killing abduction epidemic to check absconding teachers and salvage education sector. And that is on the editorial of the Guardian, and which is on page 12 of the same newspaper. But let's take a look at this issue. And of course, that is coming from still what we had on the last daily, and federal government orders on border closure still in force, says custom. Do you think this is doing well for our economy? Of course, we understand the need for us to produce Nigeria and eat Nigerian made. But right now, the federal government asking the custom to have our borders closed continuously. Do you think that is good for our economy?
It is not at all. It is not, especially when we're not even doing, especially when the purpose for which these borders were closed are still in our faces. They assist not being curtailed. We talk about this issue of security issues. That was one of the reasons why the borders were being closed.
Yes.
That the influx of people who are not allowed to come into the country. You recall that most of these allegations regarding the insecurity are they said that people outside the country are the one doing the harm. And so in order to curb that, they were saying, look, maybe when we close our border, but are they not coming in? We have a porous border. Whether or not it's closed, only a few people who don't have their way will be affected. People who want to do commit crime or whatever, they are still having their way. This issue are still there. They were not able to cure anything. The corruption is there. The immigrations are not doing their job. The customs are not doing their job. People are still migrating into the country without any paper. Especially those do we even have a border? I'm not sure we have any, because we have so many areas through which people can come into the country without any check. And the former president has said it, that only God can man our border. So probably that is the reason why they are not getting results, because they don't have the capacity to manage. Because the former president has said that, look, only God can manage successfully for us. They cannot manage anything. So for me, closing border, preventing people who have genuine businesses to do, with the name of we are looking for criminals, or we are trying to encourage local content. When those of you who are even encouraging local content are patronizing foreign content cannot give any result. It's just causing more hardship to people. I think they need to review and look at it very properly. Let's tell our people who are manning our border, let them be active. Let's have a defined border. Let's secure our border in a way that, look, it won't be this porous. The porosity of it is one of the reasons why we are. So no matter what, even bear in mind that we even don't have enough personnel, and those we have are not even ready to do anything. They are only ready to make money for themselves. So if you are ready to pay ball, they give you way, and then you find a way around the border and you go.
All right, so let's take a look at this. And I'd love you to speak to us from an area of experience as an active politician. And this is on the issue of state policing. And it is being said that it is the only solution to kidnapping and other criminal acts in Nigeria. Now, we understand the tendencies of our political class. Whenever you give them power, they abuse it. Don't you think state policing is bad with the kind of politicians we have in Nigeria who are power hungry?
Probably we should just not talk about call it state policing or whatever. Probably we should just say clamor for more policing, more policemen. In other words, let's get enough personnel to have it, because there is this debate now led by Mr. Falana, SAN. Yeah, and he said that by our constitution, there is nothing like federal police. That police, they are Nigerian police. So whether are you getting my point? Okay. The point he's making is that, look, what we call a federal police, they are not federal police. There's no police. There's no any police called federal police. So what we have is Nigerian police. So they can operate anywhere in the country. In other words, they are still part of the state, and the state governors are part of the council, police council, or whatever there's a council. So he said that. So he said by section 215 or so of the constitution, we cannot be saying that issue of state policing, or we are talking about, is wrong. But let's look at it in a way, and then again, the insincerity is the reason why we're having this, because I know our president is one of the major people behind this of who have been clamoring for state policing and restructuring. But now he's in power, he's not talking about it again. So that is the problem we're having. It's insincerity on the part of those who are in government. They talk about things when they're outside the government, then when they get there, they do different things, or they even ignore it as if it does not exist. I remember he has been doing that before 1999, talking about the only thing that can solve our problem in Nigeria is for state to allow, for them to allow state to have their own police, whatever. But what I will be conversing for now is that let's have enough policemen or who can, and the professional police, because this police they are all today now, they are also political now. They are now, and that's why we're not getting result. And some of the majority of them are even with either VPIP or the celebrities.
Or the elite classes.
So we don't have enough police in this country. And even if we have, the little we have are not being used for the purpose for which they are engaged. They are being used for another thing. We're not complying with the UN recommendation. We are not complying with anything with it. So, and then we can't get it right. We are not doing the right thing.
All right, so that's just about the time we have on newspaper reviews today. And I would love to thank Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid for being part of our show today. Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you
for availing us your time. So when we return, President Bola Tinubu meets security chiefs at the State House amid rising bandit attacks in Abuja. That will be on our main conversation segment. Please don't go anywhere.